Domino car crash results in a low initial offer. However, after later on fighting and surgery, client receives a policy limits offer. I am Shane Smith from Shane Smith Law. Welcome to this week's client victory here. We are talking with one of our attorneys, John Wheatley, about one of his recently settled cases, WM. John, tell me about WM's case.
WM is a 50-year-old male who was involved in a multiple rear-end collision where he was the first car to get hit in about a 5-car collision. So he had the original person hit him in the rear, and then he got sent into the person in front of him.
Oh, I got you. Okay. So he was at the back, got hit, knocked into some people in front of him.
Yeah.
Okay.
A domino effect, and he was the first dominant.
Okay. So a lot of times that can cause damage to the front end of the car and the back end of the car, which sort of the whiplash is worse. So
yes.
Okay. All right. And what were his injuries?
He had injuries to his neck and his back, as well as head pain. But his primarily his worst injury was his lower back. The whiplash effect of both getting hit from behind and a front end collision, all within a matter of seconds. Really sent a jolt down his spine, and it ended up bulging one of his discs in his lower back, which he had never had problems with before.
Okay. And what kind of treatment did he ultimately need for the bulging disc?
Well, he tried conservative treatment at first, some chiropractic therapy, certain heat techniques, but ultimately the orthopedic doctors determined he needed epidural steroid injections, which they tried. And then they tried facet injections, so 2 different types of injections to see if his pain would reduce. And it reduced slightly, but always came back, and usually came back a bit stronger. Ultimately, he had to get a discectomy, which is a lower back surgical procedure on his L5-S1 bulging disc.
And what was his recovery after the surgery? Was it successful?
Yeah, he had a good recovery after the surgery. Some physical therapy just to get the movement back, and but once he got moving, it was almost as if he was back to normal from before the accident.
Okay, and what was the result of the fight with the insurance company?
Originally, the insurance company, even though he had been scheduled for his surgical procedure and they had recommended it for him, his treatment led up to that, everything else failed. They essentially treated it like his injury wasn't severe because he hadn't had the surgery yet. So there was about a 3-month wait period before he could actually get the surgery due to scheduling with the surgical facilities. So they originally gave us a very low offer of around $20-something thousand of an $100,000 policy. They bumped it up to $38,000. And then ultimately, once we fought with them to show that our client was going to get the surgery and that this wasn't, smoke and mirrors, they ended up tendering over the full policy.
And how did the client feel at the when the case was resolved?
He felt great that he was able to get the surgery, and I think that was one of the best parts of it, is that a lot of policies don't afford the ability to get a surgery and also settle, and he ended up getting all the treatment he needed plus his surgery within the policy, and walked away with a good settlement as well after all that was taken care of.
Great. Sounds like you did a wonderful job for him, got him medical care he needed, and got some money in his pocket too, and he was recovered.
Yeah.
All right. Is there anything you learned on this case that you're going to use on future cases to help other clients?
I would say that even though it seems that medical treatment could be very costly and not attainable, there's always ways to work with your treatment and within the policy, and to not be deterred by what doctors are recommending simply because the cost may be seemingly high, when in reality we can work with it and get it all within the policy and taken care of.
Great. To our listeners, thanks for being with us today. Remember, if you're in pain, call Shane, 980-999-9999. order our free book, The Victim's Survival Guide to Car Accidents, at shanesmithlaw.com. Like and subscribe down below. Next week, we'll be going over another client victory. Good talking to you, John.
Thanks, Shane.
98099999999. 980999999. Shane Smith Law. In pain, call Shane.